Hello, hello, everybody. Here we are. Welcome to the Sebring live broadcast of LMU, the GTE Challenge. This will be the first scored round of this event. If you were with us 2 weeks ago, you witnessed the demise that was our first attempt, which we just turned it into a practice race. We had an endless safety car. There's a couple bugs coming out, and yours truly forgot to put the password on the server. So that led to many moments of sorrow. But the good news is today we are back in action, and we are just getting ready to head into quali. We got 20 seconds left of this practice session as we go through the grid here, and we will be heading right into the qualification session. So put your seatbelts on, settle in. We should be ready for some exciting GTE action here with Le Mans Ultima. I'm looking for the exterior. They don't really give us a, let me see if this works. I'm trying to, there we go. Okay, so can I move this baby around? Oh yeah, here we go. I'm trying to get a little bit of a view as we look at the paddock here as these guys are, this particular version of the track uses the old pit lane. So you can see it here. It comes right down by the airport runway, I believe. I'm trying to go slow so you don't have a conniption. There is that last turn onto the straight. So with that said, we should be ready to rock. What we will do now is get ourselves ready for the qualification. It's going to be a private quali. I'm going to give you the qualification info. We got 12 brave drivers here today. Just check it out. Westy. Let me see. I'm getting my stuff situated here. Here he comes. So Westy is in that Ferrari. And looks like Hugh Smith, the number 7 car, he is first on track. I will give you a little control map here so you can kind of see, as you can see him going out there now. So, we should have better luck today. As most of the drivers are now heading out. We check my views here. There's a kind of a sort of bumper view. And then there is the dash cam. Taking that awesome turn 1 at Sebring. We are at the infamous Sebring, one of the bumpiest tracks in the circuit that or in this series that we're going to have. This is a 6-race series, and we will be doing round 1 at Fuji as the last round now, as this is the official first scored round. So keep that in mind as we cruise around here. I believe everybody's out except for Mr. Jones. And if you follow these broadcasts and you are a fan of SimRacingOnline, which we totally appreciate, you will know that Mr. Jones just does not qualify. He has a very, very good record, just starting in the back, driving through the carnage, and having finishing. He's very, very consistent that way. And, you know, that's his choice. Gilles has joined us. I'm glad to see Gilles De Silva jump in. He is also with us. So we've got 13 of the 15 have showed up, and we've got a 15-minute session here for these guys to show up. So with that said, our first driver here, Hugh, will be crossing the line to start a hot lap. Let's see, right behind him is Lauren Martin. I think he'll be the next one across the line. He is in the Ferrari. And then after him is Mark Hightree, also driving, or is that the vet? Yeah, Hightree's in the vet. He's a California, or not California, but a USA guy, so he's in the vet. Number 3, Mark Ekins, also in the vet. Done. Nick Westy, cruising that Ferrari. And where is Mr. Vandergeest? I believe Vandergeest was in the Porsche last time. Let's see, is he in the Porsche? Yeah, he's still in that yellow Porsche. Way to go, John. Love that car. Okay, so time laps are underway. Let's check back with the first guy across so we can kind of watch him there. Excuse me. Yeah, see if I want that, and let me. I'm just trying to get the info we want up there. But you can see his times there. Oh, it gets a little bit squirrely there. Oh, there's some other drivers. It looks like he's got a little bit of lap traffic to come through there. And I'm showing times for these guys already. Did they jump out when I didn't see them? This is a 2:02 already up there by Taylor. You can see they must have snuck out in front of me. Also in that vet, and here is Daniel Cristo, I'm sorry. Also in the Ferrari. So just 0.165 behind, and then Ericsson 0.5 behind, about a half a second behind, and then you have Westy about 1.7 back. Let's see Barrett Ericsson also in the vet. The vet has some grunt here, I'm telling you. It's a popular car. But as promised, Hugh Smith, currently in 7th, will be crossing the line for his first time lap. Sammy is also out there. Ramia in the Austin. It's a good looking car, isn't it? All right, so here we go. Hugh will be crossing the line for his first time lap here. Not too bad. Pumps him up into 5th place. Robin Taylor still holding that 1st place. As he comes across again, does he better his time? Oh, a 2:01.6, so he does. Ekins right behind him. The 3rd place, Daniel Cristo comes across and remains in 3rd. Nicely done there. I'm going to turn. My voice might be a little bit too loud. Let's check the cockpit sound. This is the test. So this isn't too loud. There we go. So currently in 4th. And Nick Westy coming across. Westy does not improve. Still about 2+ seconds off the pace of his teammate Robin Taylor. Both Westy and Taylor for Black Cat Motorsports. Barrett Ericsson with an impressive lap. He's currently in the 2nd spot as he makes his way into Sector 2 here. Not bad. Get a look at his lines. Nicely done. And let's focus in on Mark Ekins. About to cross the line. He was purple in Sector 1. Let's see if he can better his time. Currently in 3rd, if he can bump himself up a little bit. And he does not improve in his position, but he does have a nice time there, 2:02.9. Cristo moving up. Martin has, I guess he's staying in 5th. Yeah, Westy, it's 7th. Here comes Cristo. Cristo jumps up to the lead. Look at that with a 2:01.4, some 1.97 or 0.197 quicker than Taylor. So nice left by Cristo. Very good. And the 3rd place, Barrett is coming across the line, and Ericsson does not improve his position, but that is a pretty nice lap as he starts another one. As we are halfway through this, maybe that's too loud. Halfway through this first qualification. set the grid for this race. Neil Tasker jumped in, also in the vet. So he's coming across the line to put a time up. And not a bad time at all. Westy currently was in 6th there, or was in 5th, and bumped him back to 6th. So nice job there by Neil. 10th place Smith has crossed the line. Let's see if Taylor has anything for Kirstow here. She's coming across the line. You can see he's yellow and yellow. Or actually, he's on an out lap. So here we go. This will be his time lap. All right. So let's focus in on the number 4, Mark Ekins, who's going to come across the line here. He's purple in Sector 1 and green in Sector 2. This might move Mark up. Let's see what happens. As he goes to the top of the boards with a ripping lap at 2:01.3, just, that 0.090 ahead of Kirstow. Here comes the 7th place cars crossing the line. Vandergeest in the Porsche jumps himself up into 6th. He just crossed the line in that beautiful yellow Porsche. Let's get a look at the inside of this car as he starts a ripper here. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. And let's see. Ericsson crosses the line and does not improve. We got the 5th place Neil Tasker. Let's check on him. He is purple and green, so let's see what he does here as he heads into the final last big bump turn right there. That is just a gnarly turn. He's going to set his best time no matter what. He's purple and green, so let's see what he can do. And he does bump himself up into pole position with a 2:01.1. So the times are coming down. This is really good stuff. These guys are really pushing it here. 3rd place, Kirstow. He's going to come across. Currently in 3rd, some 0.3 behind. And was he on an out lap? I'm not sure, but he did not improve on that. So we will check who's coming across the line. Next will be Mr. Taylor, Robert Taylor. He's yellow and yellow, so doesn't look like he will be improving on this lap. So let's see who else is coming across. 7th place, Nick Westy. Let's see if Westy, typically very, very fast in R Factor 2, does not improve. Currently in 7th. As you can see, he was green in the middle sector, so maybe he's figuring it out here as it gets moving along. And we will see how he does with the last 3+ minutes of qualifying here. Pretty good stuff. Number 6, Vandergeest now coming across in that Porsche. As you can see, yellow and yellow not improving on his time, but ripping laps nonetheless. So here comes Sammy Bramaya. And that Austin, he's green, and green is going to better his own time. Currently in 9th and staying in 9th. Nicely done. 5th place, Barrett Erickson. Going to cross the line here. As you can see, though, he is he had an off. He must have had an off. He's 7 seconds off in Sector 2. So we won't push that. But meanwhile, Tasker, purple, he's about to set a lap record here. As keep in mind, at SimRacingOnline, this is our first series with LMU, so this will be a track record-setting event. As he does improve, he gets into the 2 minutes flat with a ½ second under. Very nice. 2:00.596. That is the fastest lap of this race. Kirstow coming across next. Let's see if he has anything for him. Currently in 3rd and green but yellow, so not going to improve. Hugh Smith from 10th. Will he bump up? Stand down. Nope. Okay, so we have Taylor going to come across it. As you can see, there's no traffic, even though they're close on track. And Taylor bumps himself up into second place, just 4.9. So he also into the 2 minutes. Or I'm sorry, in the 201.075, just 7/100ths out of that. All right. And here comes Gilles. Gilles coming to set a time. See if he can get out of that. Okay, he improves a couple, 3-4 seconds on that time. So good for Gilles. That will help him out. Let's see. We got, let's see, Vermeer's pulling in the pits. We got the 6th place car of Barrett Erickson. Yellow and yellow as we are in the last minute and a half of quali. So this is it for these guys. It looks like Tasker will get across the line in time for another lap. I don't know about the rest of the guys. Maybe perhaps with a 2-minute lap. There's a minute 12 to go. And these guys that are halfway might not make it. So we shall see. And you can see Erickson not improving. But here comes Tasker on that ripper. But he is also yellow and yellow, so not going to improve. But still has the fastest lap in quali so far. Let's see if Kirsto has anything for him. He was only off by half a second in one. And then purple in sector 2, his fastest sector. But as you can see, that first sector, he's well a half second behind. So does he help himself out a little bit, though? No, he does not. So remaining in 4th. Anybody else to come across? These are the last chance laps here. Hugh Smith, a last ditch effort here to get himself up a little bit higher than 10th. And he remains in 10th. So this is it. Now we got Nick Westy. Purple and green. He can bump himself up. What's Westy going to do? And he does. He puts himself right into second place above his teammate Taylor. So there you go. I knew it was going to be quick. Purple in sectors 2 and 3 for Mr. Westy. But that does put Tasker on top. So that is your order. I'm going to set the starting order. There you have your row 1. Neil Tasker, Nick Westy. Row 2 is Robin Taylor and Mark Ekins in a Corvette duel. And then we got Daniel Kirsto and Barrett Erickson following up with Ferrari and Corvette. And then John Vandergeest in the lone Porsche in this race, and Lauren Martin in yet another. So Sammy Vermea and Hugh Smith in 9th and 10th. Mark Heitree in the vet in 11th, and Gilles is in 12th in that. Ed Jones bringing up the rear in the Austin. So there we have it. Your starting order. Let me see. Woo, how you doing? Sorry about that. I'm trying to go slow. All right, there's just 90 seconds here that we have until the start. So we're still trying to come to grips here with how all this LMU stuff works. So mind me as I just take a stroll down here. The qualification is over. We do have the 10th place car, Hugh Smith, still out there doing a lap, it looks like, and he's going to cross the line now, but he is not visible as we take a little aerial stroll here. I'm hoping this isn't some kind of weird bug where I still see him on track. Watch this. My car in the parking lot there. Sorry for the herky jerky.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
There we go. Okay, let me get rid of this. Now we are getting ready for the start. Here we go. So Neil Tasker up on top. Now this is a short formation lap. Let me make sure I got some things set here for the start. Bring the tower back up. And the session info. There we go. And we will set up the onboard driver box. Do they have a battle box in this? I'm looking for battle box. One by one battle. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so that'll bring up your 1v1 battles, and you'll see that at the bottom. I believe I can also bring up a driver information box at the same time. No, I cannot do it at the same time. Okay. So we'll just leave it as that, as we get ready for the start here. Let me get my wits about me here. I'm going to go through a couple views, make sure I'm all set. It should be, there we go, that view. Then we got a couple to cycle through here. That's pretty cool. As we are down to 5 seconds to go, and then I'll get back to this.
Formation lap has started.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your hats. We are in the formation lap. And remember, it's short, so they're going to turn the corner here, and then as soon as they hit the straight, it's on. So we got Vet versus Ferrari versus Vet versus Vet. Those first 4 cars. Let's hopefully we can make it through down to turn 1 without any incidents. Looking for the adjustment to make the cameras swing. That is some loud stuff. I hope it's not too loud. As here we go, we are getting ready to race.
Green flag.
And it's green. We're up, dude. Tasker gets a really good start, and right on his tail is Westy in the Ferrari looking for the inside. Westy has position. He's going to take this spot right off the bat. Are they going to keep it? And Tasker, no contact. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. They get through. Is everybody getting through? I see everybody making it. Let's get to the back here. There's High Tree. All right. Everybody's through. Tasker does give that spot up to Westy. Holy smokes. Nicely done, everybody. That seems really loud, so I'm going to bring that down a little bit. I hope that it's not too loud, or I have to scream and yell. Oh, Tasker gets it all wrong. It gets a little swirly. Westy does, and opening the door for Tasker, but he maintains that position. As they make it through. Good heavens. Checking in the back. That's down here, 9th place. We've got some battles going on here with Vandergeest in the Porsche. Nicely done at the tail end there. There's a Tasker and Taylor in that team of vets trying to jump down Westy. It does not surprise me that Westy had jumped out into the lead of this race. They were testing, knowing that he is so fast in the other series that we're hosting here at SimRacingOnline. These guys are jumping out to a brilliant start. Meanwhile, back a little bit, we've got these guys are tightened up here. We got Hugh Smith and Vandergeest. And just ahead of this, Lauren Martin leading that pack in the Ferrari. So nicely done there. And then a gap back to, it looks like High Tree's at the tail end of the last gap, and then it's Gilles and Ed bringing up the rear. So meanwhile, back to this battle at the top. The two vets are fighting for that second spot on the podium. That view from Taylor's cockpit. Third place, trying to make a difference here. Oh, and he's out. A little bit of a spin. He's excuse me. That's going to pump him all the way back. Oh, tough luck there for Tasker. Finds himself all the way at the back of the end of the pack in 11th, but he does have the pace. With 56 minutes left, there's plenty of time for him to make his way. This is going to be a pretty tight race, I believe, on strategy too. I know the guys in the chat were talking about perhaps not having enough fuel for the 1 hour session. So we will see. Remember, these are the GTEs, so it's straight up fuel that makes the difference. As Hightree and Sammy Verena are having a little bit of a go here. Hightree putting the pressure. Let's see if I can find that tail end camera view that I want. That's behind. There it is. That's still there. There should be one with the wing too. Let me click it one more time. There we go. So not that that's any better with the wing in the way, but I'm just kind of learning the views here. So as we go, that's how it works. All right. So Sammy currently in 9th. Vandergeest ahead of him, but Hightree, Neil Tasker behind him. See Tasker there. All over Sammy. He's going for the move. He's going to try to get the inside. Sammy does a nice move there, but it looks like he's going to give way, and Tasker gets the spot. So up another spot for Tasker. Vandergeest will be next in his place, but Vandergeest is having a bit of a chase here with Lauren Martin. Nicely done. And then let's jump to that battle for second, though. Here we go. The Ferrari, Daniel Cristo, keeping with Taylor. And let's check on Tasker in a minute here. Let's see. Doesn't look like anything's going on there. So there's Neil behind Vandergeest now. So we know with his pace, he is going to have to work his way back through this field. Let's give I'll put the track map back up there for you. I have to toggle it back and forth when I change screens. So that's why it's there. Sometimes it's not. If it's not, that means I'm in the OBS screen where I can see a little bit more info. It's just up when we got somebody else off in the Ferrari. Who was off in the Ferrari? It's the 11th place car, Martin. Martin finds himself collected and back on track just ahead of Ed Jones in that orange Austin, who's like, hey, I'm coming through, bro. Let me through. Holy smoly. There we go. And during all that, Tasker zips by Vandergeest and Vermeer and jumps himself up into 7th. And Hugh Smith will be next in line for him. Crazy stuff there. So they're starting to spread it out a little bit now. Not a lot of close racing. So I'm going to try something here. I want to show you guys something that's pretty cool. Let's get up there with Westy, our fastest driver on the grid right now. And I am going to turn these off. I'm going to give you this look at this pretty cool HUD. Check this out. Yeah, that's some cool stuff. So I'll give you you can see the throttle inputs, the brake. Got that 1.3 gap. Check out the miles per hour. And let's jump right behind him. I'm going to go 2 cars back with Cristo, who's battling in third for second. As you can see, Taylor just in front of him. So it's kind of a cool feature that LMU has for the, HUD. See the gears changing there. It's a nice touch. I like it. So there you have that. And back to the tower. So I thought I'd show you that. It's pretty cool. There also is a custom driver box that instead, when I hit it, we'll lose the 1-over-1, but you'll have the driver information box right down there in the middle. And I think, I don't want that, I want this. All right. Onboard driver box is a little bit different. So if I click on the onboard driver box, you get that info at the top. Now what I would like to do is get the onboard driver box with the battle box. So let's see if it goes. Yes, it does stick. Okay, this is what I was looking for. So you see the individual driver and who he is fighting with at the bottom. So there we go. Of course, that is Daniel Kirsto. But let's check with Taylor now. Currently in second. And Mr. Tasker has gotten around Smith and is now back up to 6th position. So he's made about 3 or 4 of those positions back. So after that one missed opportunity, hitting a little curve there, it took a little bit too much curve, I believe, is what happened to him there. The 8th place Vandergeest is pretty much by himself. Smith just behind Tasker there. I don't know if he's got enough to stay with him, as we did witness the pace of Tasker. Lots of good information with this LMU broadcast overlay. I'm really liking it. Thanks for hanging in with us here for this first broadcast. Down the straight. Even though these GTEs, you can see, he's not going to get it, or we're not watching the gears, but you can't. I think he might have got to 6th gear there. It's tough to get these GTEs into 6th gear, even on that long straight. So I'm looking around. I don't see any close battles at the moment. I'm going to bring your track map back up so you can kind of see for yourself. We've got in the pits, who do we have? We got 2 DNFs already. Martin and Hightree are both out. So I missed what happened there, but most unfortunate. They must have had a little bit of a ongoing. And it looks like Gilles is coming into the pits. Gilles is in the pit. So coming in for some repairs, it looks like, as we head back to the 3rd place Kirsto. These seem to be the closest cars on track right now, with Westy out front. As we are almost 1/4 of the way through this race, we've raced 14 minutes or so and a half so far. And it looks like Gilles coming back out. I think he's coming out, so that's good. All right. Kirsto, and where is Mr. Tasker? So with the fastest laps of the race so far, our Daniel Kirsto has a 2:01.7 as your fastest lap of the race. Here is Daniel now. He's currently in 3rd. As they get through that just gnarly last turn. Get it all wrong and you're into the wall. So Gilles is also having a little bit of trouble. There he is, and the leaders are going to go by. There goes Westy, Taylor, and Kirsto. As Gilles gets himself back in action, coming out of the pits on cold tires. So making way for some of these guys. Keeping it real. Nicely done. Staying out of the way. Back up to Kirsto. Westy holding that gap. There is a shot back to the second place car of Robin Taylor. Teammates, two teammates here in the lead. Both on the podium for the time being. And Vandergeest in the Porsche finding himself in 8th place. Holding pace. He has got Sammy Vermeer not too far behind. And then 5th place Baird Erickson is taking advantage. Is getting around Gilles. And then 6th place Neil Tasker is next behind to get around Gilles. So I believe Mr. Tasker is going to be charging hard after this. And Mr. Erickson is going to have a mirror full of Tasker in about a lap and a half or so, I would predict. That is the car of Gilles right there. They're matching their braking points, and Gilles wisely lets him through to live for another day. You got to finish. Just the 2 DNFs, unfortunate. Here is Christo. Currently in 3rd, but staying right there with Robin Taylor. See Westy up ahead there. Taylor right on the front bumper of Kirsto. Oh, gets a little wide there. Almost opens the door for him. As they live for another lap. Meanwhile, Tasker closing in on Erickson. You can see him up there. That is the gap now. There is the gap back from Erickson to Tasker. Gilles there just in the background. So 7th and 8th now. Vandergeest has caught up to Hugh Smith, and he might have a little something for him here as they hit into that last gnarly turn. The bump is right about here. Ba-boom. That bump. It's just, and another one right there. So you got to navigate those. Give yourself a chance. John got a nice little race here for 7th place. And meanwhile, Tasker and Erickson in the same boat. Tasker's going to try and get a little bit closer. Perhaps the next lap might do it for him. But Vandergeest closing that gap. And then back to the Tasker battle. So there's the gap to Erickson. A little bit longer than it looks maybe in the software I'm viewing, but the fight. And meanwhile, the battle for the podium here, 2nd spot. Here is Daniel Christo, still staying with Taylor. keeping that even pace. So the race right now is back here for 7th place. As the traffic had caught Gilles. Gilles is now, I believe, in the midst of this battle for 8th as he lets him through and Vandergeest gets around him. So nicely done to Silva to let these lead lap cars get through. However, Vandergeest does have a mirror full of Sammy Vermea now. Or I'm sorry, yeah, Sammy has a mirror full of Vandergeest, is what I meant to say. Or is it Smith? Yeah, Smith. Okay, I'll get it right this time. Smith has a rear mirror full of Vandergeest, and Vandergeest has a rear mirror full of Sammy Vermea. So there, okay, I spit it out. That's what I was trying to say the whole time. All right. So it looks like as we head up to the pointy end, as this gap kind of increase a little bit. Second, third, still the closest race going on here. See, there's first, second, and driving along with third here as they head into the hairpin. Been able to outbrake him a little bit and catch up, but then it seems as though Taylor is able to run away out on the flats and the straighter part. So maybe Kirstow has a little bit more wing. We don't know. They're able to catch up pretty good there in the twisties. Meanwhile, Mark Ekins cruising in 4th place in the vet, just having a Saturday evening drive. Nicely done. No stress at the moment for Mr. Ekins and Ericsson. Let's check on Ericsson's rear view. There is Tasker. See that gap is slowly coming down each lap. But Bert's doing a good job to keep that pace up, keep him off his back. Jones cruising in 10th place in that. I love that orange Aston Martin. That's just a good looking car. Just cruising along at his own pace, having a good race. All right, back to this battle for 2nd place. This is right in here on the straights here where it seems to be a little bit more advantage for Taylor. But Kirstow able to close the gap in these twisties. So let's see what happens this time around. As you can tell by the track map, there is not any occurring battles at the moment. These are the 2 closest cars. Got potential 5th place going to be challenged here in a minute, as well as 7th. So you can see how that gap tightens up here in the twisties, where I believe Daniel has a little bit of an advantage, but then as soon as they hit the straights, that Chevy V8 power just pulls away down the straight. So see what happens. It's pretty tight this time. This is the closest they've been. He's got a little bit of an opportunity, but then we're going to hit that straight. Let's just see what the difference is here. If indeed I'm telling the truth, it's just my observation. We shall see. Oh, yeah. Taking the curb on the inside, so let's watch it here. Looks like he's got the draft at this point in time. He's not pulling away this time. He is in the draft, and it's looking like Daniel's going to take a run. Looking to the inside, he's going through the bumps, and he's going to take that spot. He does. Oh, is he going to make it through? And he does get through. Bumps and all, takes the position away from Taylor. Nicely done, but Taylor has not finished, though. Taylor's coming right back on him. Now, Taylor's got the draft, but this is a little more sketchy, this turn here. No bumps in it, but, man, you got to get it right. or you're going to hit that outside curb if you're just a little too deep. And it looks like that's exactly what happened to Kursoff, but he pulls it off. Didn't take too much curb to do any damage. And now let's see if Christo can pull away. I keep calling him by the wrong name. I'm sorry, Daniel. All right, it looks like he's increasing the gap there. So maybe that vet power is going to have to. He's going to have to stick it in gear here. Meanwhile, all this has allowed Ekins to catch up as these guys have been fighting a little bit. You can see Mark right there, Ekins in 4th place. And the gap does extend a little bit on the straight, as you can see. Meanwhile, Tasker and Ericsson, Barrett doing a really good job to keep that gap. Pretty consistent. This is Vet versus Vet here. This is Chevy V8 power. So kind of hard to tell the difference between the yellow car and the yellow car. And Vandergeest was challenging there a couple laps ago, but has decided to sit back, perhaps resting up a little bit for another attack, as we are just about halfway. Got 35 plus minutes remaining here. That outstretched lead by Wesley just keeps growing. Here comes Taylor now across the start finish. See if he can close that up. The RPMs and the speed. Really taking that turn nicely. And a little bit more technical part of the track here. And it looks like Daniel, maybe a little bit wider than he wanted to be there in that first entry. And that's allowed Robin to kind of close up on him. So maybe it's going to be tit for tat. Just a little bluff to the inside to try and get a reaction perhaps. This hairpin, a little bit too much, but a little bit in the dirt. And you can see Daniel pulls away there after that little incident. Meanwhile, the 5 and 6 battle has tightened up as well. So Mono, Yvette here. As Tasker is going to probably, by the next lap, is going to be in attack mode. In this battle for 5th place. Ericsson is a seasoned veteran up there. He's a really good driver, so it's going to take some actual driving skill to get around him. These cars are paced pretty evenly. Anybody else? I'm curious if Christo see these guys. There's 2, 3, and 4, and 5 and 6 are all down the same straight at time. But is there anything showing fuel? Yeah, 11.4 on his dash is showing the fuel. That's got to be gallons, if indeed it is ticking down. So 11.4 is he. Now he's able to take that turn in 4th gear, as we saw. Taylor was behind him taking it in 3rd. I'm just curious if that 11.4 number in the fuel is going to change, or if that's just a static. Everything else seems to be live, so we'll check back with that just to give it a chance. Meanwhile, Tasker in his bid for 5th place. Now he's showing fuel of 12.0, so maybe we are legit. The vets might not be burning as much as the Ferraris. That would be interesting. Or who knows if these guys filled up or not. I'm sure a full tank. I believe it was Mark Ekins did some math for us in the forums and was filling us in on going to be really close for 60 minutes. So 12.0. But this is the battle here for 5th place. Everybody else, 7th and 8th. Oh, I don't want to miss that because it looks like Vanderkees has caught Hugh Smith again. But as they get through that tight turn heading into Sector 2, the gap has extended. So let's just stay with these guys here. The 5th and 6th battle. It's Ericsson. Couple of views. I love how the dirt gathers on the windshield at LMU. LMU is a really satisfying sim to drive. If you were at all an R Factor 2 fan, you're going to love LMU. I mean, it's everything RF2 is and was, and more. As you can see Neil definitely pushing there. As he's hard on the brakes, heading into that last turn as they're going to cross the line here in this battle for 5th place. Smoking the tires a little bit. We do have a little bit of a logjam up here with lap traffic. We've got Gilles' car in 11th as the leaders are going through. So Gilles trying to give room, and Christo gets through. Taylor must have had an incident because he is way back now. So we can see Taylor back here with Ekins. So the last up of the podium could be up for grabs, but let's head back to this Tasker Vet Challenge here. These guys are coming down that Sector 2 area where it gets really tight. Just in front of them. Oh, 4th place. 4th is down as Ekins has one off. Ekins gets it wrong, and this is going to allow Ericsson and Tasker to catch up. So Ekins, as close as he was to the podium, just had a little minor setback here with just under 30 minutes left. So this is a Corvette challenge for the podium, it looks like, for that last step. We got 3 Corvettes going to be battling for that spot. And the 3rd place car now, Robin Taylor in a vet, holding 3rd place as he's going around Gilles now. Get through him on the straight here. Gilles moves to the outside to let the 3rd place car, Robin Taylor, through. Okay, meanwhile, Tasker looking for a way. Hit this bump. Boom, there it is. Yeah, the fuel's not counting down, as you can see. It's still at 12.0, so one of the static deals on the dash, but it's pretty cool that the rest of the dash is working for multiplayer. This is pretty cool. It's pretty good stuff. He is right all over Ericsson's tail. Excuse me. Okay, Barrett, you're going to have to do that driver stuff. As 4th, 5th, and 6th, they're pretty much... You could probably throw a net over all 3 of them. As the Corvette challenge continues, and there is Gilles' car in front. It looks like he's looking to the outside, inside. He's going to make a pulse little move here. Headed to the hairpin. Tires are smoking through the hairpin. Oh, they're side by side. He's going to get the spot. Tasker's looking. Ericsson's holding on. Nice defense by Barrett there. As you see Ekins up ahead with Gilles. So Gilles could be... I love it. The back markers are having a definite effect on what's going on here. This will be good practice for our next series, which will be a multi-class series, as it looks like there's going to be a pass. He's trying to get alongside his Tasker, but he just can't get it done. Ericsson puts his car just in the right spot. Oh, we got some smoke coming out of that. That might have been Gilles up there. Gilles. Taking a lot of curb is Tasker. I'm telling you, we know Tasker knows the way around this track. He did put that fast full time up. However, Cristo still has the fastest lap of the day by 2:01.7. Oh, we got some log jam. That looked a little sketchy there for a minute. As Gilles is safely through now. They're safely through. Gilles surviving. Good job, Gilles, just to stay out of the way and keep yourself in it. Nicely done. I would love to see, let's jump back to the battle for 7th and 8th. I would love to see the Porsche of Vandergeest, just because I'm a Porsche fan, catch up to that Austin. Hughes doing a great race, but he might have kissed the wall a little bit there. Looked like Hugh really went a little bit wide. So with more than half of this race gone, we could be looking at some tire degradation here. Could be coming into play for these guys, 7th and 8th. And then 6th and 7th, here's Tasker battle. So Tasker, Ericsson battling. Ericsson does not want to give up this 5th position. There is a front bumper full of Neil Tasker right there. Ericsson seems got a little bit away there, but then the outbraking, woo! A lot of late braking there by Tasker. Sucked that gap up, if you can see that. That's some hardcore stuff right there. Vandergeest has caught on the back of Hugh Smith too, so which do we look at? Let's just jump back here really quick because Vandergeest, all right, okay, that's a little bit farther. Let's go back to this one. This is the battle for 5th place. As the 3 leaders are spread out, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Big gap to 2nd, 3rd. Medium gap from 1st to 2nd. But this is the race here for 5th. And we have a race for 7th going on. These guys are about good racing all the way down the field today. This is really good stuff. Unfortunately, we lost a couple of drivers, but we originally had 19 or 20 signed up for the series, and I think the round 1 debacle might have steered some people away, but man, you're really missing out. I encourage you to jump back into this for round 3 in 2 weeks. And then stay tuned, SimRacingOnline, because we are going to be featuring more LMU series with the GT3s and a multi-class series as well with the LMP cars. So stay tuned for that. It's Tasker patiently waiting. And just ahead, as you can see, that's Ekins up there. Ekins having a pretty good run. He just had that one little mistake that took him off of Taylor's bumper. Otherwise, he was battling for the podium. So, you know, anything can happen with 23 minutes left. You know, you hit a curve wrong, you get a wheel in the dirt. That's how it goes. You just got to keep it close. All right, let's check on Vandergeest. He has caught up this lap a little bit closer to Hugh Smith. As that Porsche gets lighter on fuel, it gets a little squirrely, so you really got to manage the brake bias driving this Porsche. It's a tricky car to handle. That mid-engine and where the fuel is in the nose, as it gets lighter, the front end gets a little bit light. So you really got to balance your driving with this car. Okay, meanwhile, back to Bear Ericsson. Tasker. Something else. Nicely done. This is a really good battle here for 5th. Ongoing. got into the hairpin. Tire degradation's got to be coming into play, so you guys are going to have to start being a little bit more careful. As you can see, Tasker had a better line into the hairpin that time. He caught all that dirt that one time. Or was that someone else we were watching? I can't remember. All I can tell you, there's a lot of yellow cars out here today. Keep tiptoeing back and forth between the two battles. This is for 5th, and this is for 7th. Did Vandergeest get around him? He did. Vandergeest has gotten around Smith, and we missed it. Darn it. Oh, John, nicely done. So here is Hugh Smith. I'm thinking that the Austin might be suffering a little bit of tire degradation. As we saw in a couple of those turns, he was like getting a little bit squirrely, so that could have been the case. As Vandergeest has now taken 7th position, nicely done. Sorry I missed that pass, but there it is. Meanwhile, this battle for 5th. Get through the bumps there. Tasker pulling on the draft this time. Will this be the lap he goes for it? It looks like Barrett's able to just pull away and just keeping enough of the draft off of Tasker's car to be able to protect his lead there. And let's see, as they make it through the twisties here. Wow, he is all over him this lap. Look at this. Oh my goodness. What's going to happen at the hairpin? Go to the outside. Barrett's staying on the inside. As you see, Ekins smoking the tires just ahead of him. But Barrett putting his car in the right spot, just keeping that thing wide. Not allowing Tasker an opportunity. I want to check back on the Vandergeest battle for 8th, but these cars are just too close right now. But I believe Vandergeest has a nice little gap now to 8th place, so we will leave it here as this is the battle for 5th. We're under 20 minutes now to the last third of this race underway. Bumper to bumper racing here. Not really able to take advantage of the draft like we saw earlier when the Ferrari was behind the vet. The Ferrari seemed to get right up in there. With these two cars being equal, maybe it's a little bit different, but he's looking like he's got a position on the inside. Oh, this is going to be tough. Ericsson's holding tight. Ericsson needs to come out a little bit to allow himself to make this turn, and he does. They get through side by side. It looked like for a minute there, and it's done. Tasker gets it done, as you saw right there on the side by side, inside out, and Barrett reluctantly gives up that 5th position. Now we will see if he was holding up Tasker at all, because remember, Tasker set that fast lap in quali. So we know he's got pace. So Ericsson with a brilliant job keeping him back as long as he did all the way to the last third of this race. Those guys were fighting for the last 15-20 minutes. So now with Tasker's got clean air in front of him, let's see if he can run away with that pace. Let's see, where is 7th place? So I think Hugh Smith has been having some issues because that 7th place gap is over now, and John Vandergeest is way out in 7th by himself. And it looks like Sammy might be able to reel in Hugh Smith as well, if indeed Smith is having tire degradation issues, which I believe is the case, because he got slowed way down. And now you can also see that Ericsson, Tasker has it off. Tasker must have lost the car. I turned my head for 1 second and I missed it. So Tasker back in 6th, Barrett back in 5th. What happened to Tasker? He must have lost it through the squirrelies there as they were going back down to Sector 3. That Sector 3 section must have got the best of him. There is Tasker. Way back now. And Gilles is coming into the pits. It looks like Gilles is pitting. This will be his second pit. So interesting events there as they happen. I'm really sorry we missed that. Maybe we'll get a review in the chat after the race, but holy smokes. Oh, I'm sorry I missed that. Vandergeest is 7th. Tasker in 6th. But like I said, you put a wheel off wrong somewhere, and that's all it takes. So that gap to the leader is about 28 seconds for 5th and 6th place, 22 for 5th place, 28 for 6th place. As Westy is just been the star today. Onto that lap 1 pass. He's never given up the lead. And Christo with the fastest lap of the race so far. And I think I put in the points that you get a fastest lap point and you get a fastest quali lap point. So it should make a difference here in the standings as the series moves on. Everybody's pretty spread out now. There is Ericsson in that 5th place. Now, is Ericsson gaining on Ekin? Let me go to my stats page here. All right. So, the gaps. Ekin is currently 4.4-ish. And let's just see if that gap remains, or if it does start to come down, as we are under 15 minutes remaining here. So the last quarter of the race, we are in the last 15 minutes. Really curious to see if that gap comes down at all. Ekins. We'll check on that. Meanwhile, Westy, see the gap from the leader. Got 4 seconds or so on Christo. That gap might be coming down as well as we start to narrow it down here. Mr. Taylor just in 3rd place, some 5 seconds ahead of Ekin. Now 7, 8, 9. Where is Ekins? Is Ekins having an issue? Ekins had an issue. So that's it. Ekins has the issue. Get out of the way. Oh, another near miss. Woo! Holy smokes. So even Tasker gets through and Ericsson gets through, moves him into 4th. So disaster for Ekins. It looks like it was in the hairpin. Was it not? Oh, no, it was after the hairpin. So it was in those Sector 2 twisties. So Tasker moves up. Ericsson moves up. Vandergeest nowhere in sight. So it looks like Ekins is safe from Vandergeest as he's half a lap back. But man, what a chain of events there in the last 15 minutes. You never know what's going to happen. So as I'm looking around for gaps to break, we have it off and positions change. So we got Westy, Christo, Taylor, Ericsson, your top 4. Then Tasker, Ekins, Vandergeest, Smith, your 5th through 8th. That's pretty good stuff. Let's see. Christo's gap. Westy able to maintain that 4+ second gap. Trying to see what's going on there. And meanwhile, Tasker, who had it off of himself, who was up there on the podium with his off, now getting through Gilles, getting around the back marker. As 6th place, Ekins giving him a little how you doing as Gilles kindly gets out of the way. I would love to see Ekins come back on the charge now. The gap is 3.8. So let's just see if he's got anything in the tank for this last 10+ minutes. We're just about at 11 minutes. So see what we have in store. 3.9. Let's check out the gap to the podium for Mr. Ericsson is a bit much, but Tasker's gap back to Ericsson is 2.2. So if we check on Taylor and Christoph, that's a 9-second gap. So Christo has got plenty of gap on Taylor. I would love to see the gap between Ericsson. It's pretty big though. About half a sector, maybe a little bit less, is the gap between 4th and 3rd. So unless Taylor has a mistake, I think he's safe to sit on the podium. Let's check with Ed Jones, who's now in 9th place. Has gotten around Sammy, as I predicted. And there is Sammy. And I think Sammy is having a little bit of tire trouble. All in all, he's run a pretty good race, but you can see he's got to get on those brakes to make those turns now. So I think he's got some tire degradation. All right, anybody, anywhere. 5th place, Neil. He's closing that gap to Ericsson again. Holy smokes, are we going to have a last 10 minutes? Yellow flag. Why is the yellow out? Okay, yellow's not out. Woo! I don't have nightmares of last time, where the endless pace car got us. Keep my voice clipping here. I'm trying to get this stuff right. I'm sorry if it's been too loud. Got it at minus 14 dB. Cars are at minus 10. All right. Like I say, we are getting along here with LMU. I'm really liking it. As the gap is under a second now. Holy smokes, we're going to have another battle here between, guess who? Ericsson and Tasker. The battle continues. The sequel. So if they had DRS, he'd be dropping the flap right now. Good heavens. All right. Back to the trap map for you so you can kind of see what's going on there. I'll spread out with this one battle once again. So Tasker's pace, as we know, is extremely fast. Ericsson's defensive skills are extremely good. So can he hold him off for another 7.5 minutes? This is going to be the challenge for 4th place, because this battle is now for 4th. Before Ekins had his mishap, the battle, of course, was for 5th. As you can see, Ekins not too far back. Let's see if you can see him up there. You can see just in the foreground, you can see the battle for 4th going on up there. And Mark seems to be able to, he might be closing. But anyway, also the gap to the lead has come down a little bit. So here is second place. You can see he's got Westy in his sights. So with just under 7 minutes remaining, we might have a little bit of a challenge here. This is getting good, man. Just think if this race was 70 minutes, we might tell a different story. And they might have to pit for fuel as well. So we will see as second place paddles on. But meanwhile, Tasker's got to be putting his sights on another pass. He made a brilliant pass in sector 1. I believe it was right at turn 1 when he took over 5th place from Ericsson. Now he's trying to take over 4th place from Ericsson. So we will see what happens. That gap is the tightest gap on the track as we speak. This sector 1 is really technical, especially this lefty here where you just got to wait that extra second before you get back on the gas. This turn and the other turns that are in the middle of sector 2 are really tricky as they hit the hairpin here. Let's see what happens. Oh, Ericsson gets it wrong. He gets in the dirt. Is this going to be the spot? He's able to hold him off, but for how long? They're side by side. It's rear wheel to front wheel, and Tasker's got the inside coming out, but that's just going to be the pass. It looks like they're nose and nose. It's a drag race. Oh my goodness. Into this right-hand turn. Ericsson holds it off. Nicely done, Barrett. Wow, that was some really good side-by-side stuff. Making it tough on Mr. Tasker. Both of them live for another lap as we are at the 5-minute mark. 5 minutes remaining. Woo. We've also got a battle for 8th and 9th as Hugh Smith and Ed Jones are going at it back here. There is Jones looking to jump up into that 8th spot. So he's catching up. Meanwhile, it looks like he does get the 8th spot. So there's the pass on Hugh Smith and Kirsto catching Westy. The gap is coming down. Oh man, I gotta check this out. 1.3. So you guys can see all this, but when I have the track map up, I can't see what those numbers at the bottom, so I have to turn that off to get to the numbers. So. But we're under 5 minutes, so we're just going to stay here so I can watch these gaps come and go. Good heavens to Betsy. Where is the battle for 5th and 6th? Here is Tasker. So this gap is still to go, but these guys are on it. So Tasker, we know he's got the pace. Then Ericsson done a brilliant job so far. He's held him off for the 5 minutes. Remember, it was 7 minutes to go that he had to hold him off. Now at 3.5 minutes, but Tasker is there. So one false move as they hit the hairpin again. Last time through the hairpin, Barrett made a little bit of a mistake. And then Ekins not too far back, but back to the top. Kirsto Bristow is under a second to the lead, so this is a battle for the lead. Oh my goodness, look at Westy. Has Westy got enough rubber to hold it off for 3 minutes? 3 minutes remaining. We got like probably 2 laps to go. So does Westy have what it takes to keep Bristow behind him? Bristow sporting that fastest lap of the race, so we know he's quick. They get through the bumps, head yet for another lap. We are at 2 minutes and 35 seconds as they cross the line. So there's going to be 2 more laps for these leaders. This one plus 1, as it's about a 2-minute lap. Westy has it off. Kirsto takes the lead. There is your lead change. This is getting back to the beginning. Kirsto takes the lead as Westy gets it all wrong. This is telling me that Westy has tire degradation. He's got to have some rubber issues as the new leader of this race with less than 3 minutes, right at the 2-minute mark now, at 2 minutes exactly to go. Westy's going to have one more lap, but I don't think he's got what it takes, just for the fact that Cristo was able to catch him. So heavens. And then we got 4th and 5th back here. New leader, 4th and 5th. Ericsson and Tasker. As these guys, the leaders hit the hairpin. Let's check them in the hairpin. As Cristo takes a little bit wide, getting Westy right back on him. So Westy is there. Wow. And Ericsson holding off. Ericsson, he's got to do this for one more lap. Can he keep Tasker behind him? We don't know. Any other battles going on? 4th and 5th. Oh, in second place, Westy is pitting. So he's either out of gas or he's out of tires. But there goes what led the most laps of this race, and he's now in the pits. So we don't know if it's tires or fuel. Where is Taylor? Taylor's going to come through and perhaps get this spot from Westy, and he does. So it's a splash and dash for Westy as Westy's on his way out, so it must have been fuel. Taylor takes over. Here comes the battle for 4th. It's going to be Ericsson. Are they going to get, as well as this, putting Ericsson on the podium as Westy comes out in 5th. I believe he's now coming out. He should be under speed. This is the longest pit lane ever for Nick Westy as these guys battling now. Daniel Cristo is going to win this race unless he has an accident. We are on the last lap. The clock has expired in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The clock has expired. This is going to be it. So now we have this battle here for the podium. Robin Taylor in second, but Neil Tasker and Barrett Ericsson are going to decide the last step of the podium on this last lap. We also have Sammy and Hugh Smith back there fighting for the 9th spot. So this could be epic. Where is Westy? Wow, so strategy definitely played a part in this race, as I believe Westy just ran such a brilliant race, was so far out front. I believe he was fuel saving at the end, and that's what allowed Cristo to catch up. And as you saw, he had splash dash. Excuse me. As Hugh has been off, Hugh's off 10th place. That's going to put Sammy up ahead. Jones is in 8th. Vandergeest is comfortably in 7th. Ekins in 6th. Westy's fine in there, but here comes your leader, Cristo, as the 10th place car of Hugh Smith pulls into the pits. But Cristo heading down that back straight for the last time. And it looks like Tasker and Ericsson. Tasker got it wrong again, and the gap is over, and this is going to be it. Holy smokes. Here is your race winner, Daniel Kristoff, taking the lead away with 3 minutes to go, jumps out in front and takes the victory here at Sebring today. What a brilliant run by Cristo. He did also give up or have the fastest lap. Here comes Taylor, second place. That fastest lap by Cristo was done in the first sector of this race, the first section with that 2:01. Here is second place. And a brilliant run by Barrett Ericsson. Hats off. He might get driver of the day just with a brilliant podium finish. But we've got a battle here with Westy. Westy's not giving up. He's trying to get the spot away from Tasker. And they cross the line in 4th and 5th. So, nicely done. Mark Ekins was probably one tire off away from another position. Nicely done, though. Brilliant race all the way around. Vandergeest in that beautiful yellow Porsche. My favorite car. Making it through that last little bit of a sector here with Jones now in 8th place. Not too far behind. So Jones has made his way up into 8th and finishes just behind. And Smith gets 10th, and Gilles de Silva gets 11th. As we're going to watch Vandergeest take the checkers here. Can you see the guy on the podium like you can in our practice? You're going to see the checker flag. There he is. He's waving it. Nicely done. Nicely done. Very good. And there is Ed Jones also finishing in the top 10. Sammy Vermia in 9th. He's in 8th and 7th. So here comes Sammy. Wow, what a race. That was really something. I hope you guys stuck it out to the end with me because that was some really, really good racing. Let's see if I can get some session results. I guess it's not going to let me until they all cross. In the drop down aisle. There we go, race 1. Okay, let's get the session results. Ta-da. Here we go. There is your finishing order. Daniel Christo, 30 lap. First place. Robin Taylor, 2nd. Barrett Erickson in 3rd. Neil Tasker in 4th. Nick Westy in 5th, who led most laps. Mark Ekins in 6th. Jan Vandergeest in 7th. Ed Jones in 8th. Sammy Vermia in 9th. Hugh Smith in 10th. And then we had Lauren Martin and Mark Heitree, both DNF, unfortunately. But wow, what a race. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. That was really something else. Good fun. Join us in 2 weeks for the next round of LMU. Hopefully we'll get a full grid. We did have 15 signed up today, and 12, 13 of those showed up. So that's pretty good for after last week's catastrophe. But that's it for me. And I'm out, and I will catch you on the next one. And don't forget, this Monday we got AMS2 GT4 racing Monday night. So tune in for that. All right, you guys. Adios, and I will see you on the next one.